Hello, Bunny. Today is Friday, 11th March 2022. And the only reason I didn't record yesterday was because you took so long to fall asleep that it was just so late by the time we finished. Like you finally fell asleep that there was just no more time. But first of all, now, how many? Well, almost 2 years, buddy. You're almost 2 years when you finally got registered as a Mexican national. So now you have a country. All this time, you have been countryless. And, well, happy for that. Obviously, since Thailand doesn't give you any right for being born in here. So now you have a country. Now you have a passport as well. So you're ready to roll. And yeah, like just start traveling the world and just start seeing the beauty everywhere. So yesterday was cool because, of course, as I said, we went to the embassy. And after it took me forever to get the documents, all the documents translated, legalized, with all these different things. It's just so annoying because especially we were from lockdown to lockdown. So many times I tried to do it, but one agency, one government agency was closed, and then the embassy was closed, and then some other place was closed, and you just sometimes there was no momentum, right? Like I do something and then I have to wait 6 months. So it's like, but finally the stars aligned and we got it. So we went to the embassy. Oh man, it's so stressful that I had to get your little thumbs to get like the ink and then just to press in the right places. Otherwise they would have to do everything all over again and get you the picture. And it was good. The ambassador is a very, very nice guy. So we ended up talking for quite a long time in his office. Then what else? Well, that was it. But you got very tired because you couldn't do your middle of the day nap. Sorry. So it was tough. And then I had to run and do some monitoring and some voice talent work as well. And so I left mommy and you in a taxi, and I made sure that you guys were like fine, safe, and the guy knew how to get to the apartment. And I went there, right? And I arrived very late, 45 minutes late. I let them know in advance, but I was very late, and I was going to work with an engineer that he's quite difficult, very difficult actually. We didn't work together for a while. It's obvious that I get on his nerves and he gets on mine. Very bossy, very, very like a chihuahua, very, 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 very nervous. So everything is jumpy. Everything he was very prone to anger. And I didn't like to be bossed around, especially since I do my job with absolute excellence, right? So sometimes he was too nosy, like, oh, could you repeat this? Like, you don't even speak Spanish. Like, how in the world, why do you want me to repeat something I know is great, it's perfect? And my monitor said so as well. So he was a kind of not the most pleasant person to work with. Nice guy, but not to work with. But funny enough, yesterday he was nice, actually very nice. I was surprised how nice, how much kinder he was, and he was super cool because I finished my part super fast. I'm just really good at it. It's one of those things that I can tell you I am excellent at, really, really good at, and even I'm really good, I always strive to get better and better and better and better. So it's just a job I love doing. It's not even a job really. It's just something I love doing. But I was late, so I had to be the monitor, meaning I have to listen to some of other voice talent work, spot her mistakes, and get her to do a better job. But because I was so late, she did the recording herself, and then she heard everything she recorded, and then she just make it correct, perfect, 100%. So that meant that I was going to lose the money that I usually would make being a monitor, because she monitors herself. But at the end of my recording, because we had so much time, the guy said, "Do you want to, please, I want you to listen to what Ingrid, her name is, just recorded, because we have time, and I would like you to make your money. Like, everything counts." I was like, that's not James. But no, it is James. The thing is this, and then we started talking, because I told him, you know what, I'm sorry, I can't be from the embassy, and this is what I was resolving, and so on and forth. And it's like, oh, I'll tell you about my story. Once we finished everything, and he paid for the voiceover and for the monitoring, that he really didn't have to. I mean, it was just a kind gesture from him. He told me that he was having considerable problems because his daughter, his wife, is a Chinese Malaysian, and Malaysian women, if they give birth to a son or daughter from a foreigner father outside Malaysia, the kid doesn't get any nationality, none at all. I mean, Malaysia is a really backwards, macho place, you know, like, and you just hear this kind of things, and it's like, okay, this is the kind of crap that gives feminists and reasons to be so poignant and so radical and so difficult. And this is what gives a very bad rap to Muslim countries, right? Like how in the world? I mean, it's just the stupidest thing I have heard. Because in any case, because a Malaysian man, has a child with a foreigner woman outside Malaysia, the child immediately gets nationality. So, but that goes around, against just common sense, because a Malaysian woman, or just a woman, any woman giving birth, you know that it can be only her. I mean, she can only be the mother, while a man, you don't know if the man is actually the father of that child. So if it was because they are ultra national, they would accept more the woman than the man. But this is just a macho, disgusting thing from these people. And I don't blame Muslim, the religion. I just blame the misinterpretation of so many things, and to use them against women. That I find terrible. So this guy, right, is having problems with his daughter not having a nationality. He is a British, so his daughter gets immediately nationality, even just by him saying, "This girl is my daughter." That's it. She doesn't even have to have even a birth certificate issued by the embassy or by the British government. Nothing at all. She can just go and say, "My dad is English, my passport, my ID." That's it. The problem is that if she does that, then she loses any chance of ever becoming a Malaysian citizen, because she would have a passport from a foreigner country, and Malaysia doesn't accept two passports, like or double nationality. So, but the thing is this, like, what I realized, well, first of all, it's like, it's disgusting. It's truly freaking annoying to the point of I want to puke in humanity, that there's thousands and thousands of children that have no nationality. They don't have any legal protection from any government. They cannot there's nothing at all whatsoever that anyone is doing for these kids either. They're just nationless, and therefore they don't have passports, therefore they don't have way of traveling, they don't have any country that they can go and get education from or get an ID to do anything at all. Forget about like financial or credits or any kind of right. They just don't have any right. And these kind of people are usually very, very mistreated by the country that is hosting them, because they treat them like, forget second-class citizens, they literally treat them like rubbish. Like why do I have this piece of shit in my country, kind of thing. It happens here in Thailand a lot as well, with Hill tribe people, that unless they prove in a DNA test that they have some Thai blood, they never get anything, even if there's been generations of these people being born in Thailand. You see this, and it's just ridiculous how natural law, right? There's a natural law before the law that the people make. There's a natural law. There's things that are just principles of nature, right? How can we deviate from our nature and become so disconnected to human nature, to human rights, to the most basic rights that a person can have, right? Of being recognized by the land, for example, you were born, or by the father or mother that you were born. I mean, there should be some legal way to protect these people worldwide, but there's none. So children, women especially, get terribly mistreated by these men too. I was just listening a similar story from someone else, from the Mexican ambassador. So it's just sad. It is really sad how, and I mean, it's happening to me. That's why one of the reasons I go to Mexico, because life is fluid, life flows, life changes, and all the legal framework, all the legal forms, all that is like corresponds to the law, it's written mostly, and it's just like frames in a painting, right? And the frames, you have to, they have to somehow express the reality, or contain the reality, right, within the law itself, right? But sometimes the law, just like in this case I'm talking, just there's huge spaces, like voids, that there's no legality, where the laws just don't reach that place, and people stay in those dark voids where there's no law that can do anything or protect them or intersect with their lives. That's one. And there's also that you have frames of law, right, of all different kind of, like, you're married, you're divorced, you're this, you're that, and visas, work permits, and all these different things that countries have come, to have, right, to frame all the different aspects of the individual as a man, as an employee, or as a worker, or as someone that moves from country to country. All those things have frames, right? And these frames sometimes just don't catch up with reality. So sometimes, just by the mere fact that you're living and you're flowing and things just change, right? Suddenly you find yourself in situations that you're outside the frame. Therefore, you are actually, outside the law in a way. But it's not because you're doing something bad or you're doing a crime or anything. It's just that life changes much faster than how you can arrange all those frames that contain parts of your life, right? So I know that I'm a lawyer, so I do understand also the law and how it is, and but 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 like when I see these kind of things, they're very organic, right? Life is organic. Law should be, but just by the spirits of the law itself, law has to be all encompassing somehow, right? Like it has to be general. It cannot be based to base on base to base case, because otherwise it could lend itself to be manipulated even more than it is today. But it really, like, in that kind of case, in all these cases I'm talking about, it's just so easy to get to move and kind of like your life suddenly looks blurry. It looks like you are kind of outside or in contradiction to the frames that you declared yourself to be in, right? Just by virtue of life unfolding organically, day by day, minute by minute. So yeah, it's just sad. These kind of things happening in the world, really, they are. But the other thing that made me realize, talking to this guy and just seeing him, how much he has changed, how kind he was with me, how patient he was, how friendly he was, in comparison to the other jumpy, aggressive guy that didn't give a fuck to think about others, very too little to no empathy. Now, suddenly, this guy is a very kind person. And it made me realize, it made me look back and look to all sides and realize that how important is for men to have children. Not the mere fact of just having sex with a girl and then just leaving that girl with a child, because that's kind of one of the worst things I can think a man can do. Not even because of a child and because leaving the woman in such a bad position, but also because they are losing the greatest opportunity they have to transcend themselves. And it's a shame. So I see men who have children and care to nurture their child and the relationship and be supportive of wives and all these things, just change them into better human beings. Because we have the chance for the first time in our lives to love truly, without restriction, without breaks. That's how we should all love. But, well, this world is insane, and sometimes that kind of giving oneself to love, well, can be very painful. Very, very painful, especially if we're not aware enough and conscious enough to do it with the right person, which is very normal in this world, in this moment, that you can change partner faster than you change underwear. So just that, and I've said it in one other video, how this idea of men being toxic is quite not what I have seen, because I have seen, out of all the people that has seen you on streets, 80% men, 80% are men who come. I mean, the ones that are sweet to you, do something to make you laugh, touch your hair when you're walking, make clowns out of themselves to make you see, to make you laugh, wave at you, something. 80% have been men, 20% women, but easily. So yeah, it's beautiful to see that the fact that you have a son or a daughter and that you care for them and that you love them and you're close to this source of beauty and magic and love and tenderness and cuteness, just suddenly catalyzes men into better human beings. So that's one beautiful thing. Another thing that I was telling mommy last night, and thank God things are better with mommy. Thank God. I was also telling her, right, like, it's funny because this guy as well, this audio engineer, he was telling me if something, the only reason he really wants his daughter to have a passport from Malaysia is because, and he told me, I quote, if something happens to me, she can at least go to Malaysia and, have the support, the, like hospitals, free education, and all these things that Malaysian government provides to their citizens. But what struck me was that first part, that I heard many men, including myself, and I told mommy from the very beginning, the moment I saw you was the moment that I understood that I was disposable, dispensable. Because you think, whatever I have to do to preserve the life and the well-being of this tiny meatball and mom. That was the first thing I realized. The day I walked out of hospital with you and mommy, I realized that I was a very dangerous man. Because I'm ready to die to defend both of you, or any of you, both. And that's also, I think, if you ask me, it's a very beautiful thing, that suddenly you realize that your life is extremely important only as long as I can be of use, of service, of protection to you both. That's a beautiful thing, because all the selfishness, all the egocentric living and thinking, all whatever narcissism was there, it's just suddenly it's not there, or not as much, or very little. So it's beautiful. It's also very beautiful to hear that men are willing to die, and not even because you have to battle somewhere or something. Just simply, you just see that at every point, every decision you make, you have to consider that you may not be there, but you want those two, or those three, if you have more than one child, that they are the only thing that matters. That your value is that of the size of your value is the size of how much you can protect them and love them, and think about them even when you are not there, to really project into the future and think about them, not you. Even when you're not going to be there to witness it, to enjoy it, to just to exist there, right? You still are thinking about how to make sure that those two are fine when you are no longer in the picture. And that it's a beautiful thing that makes me proud of being a man, that proves beyond anything that men are not toxic, not at all. And I want you to understand this, buddy, because I don't know if the things are going to be as bad as they are now. Probably they are going to be worse by the time that you are watching and understanding truly this video. There's such a huge movement, current campaign against men and manhood, and they say that men are toxic and testosterone is like a poison, and we are violent and we're this and we're that, and they're pushing this agenda of men that look more female than the biggest female in the universe, and you have billboards with stupid teenagers men with makeup honestly, you don't even know if they're guys or girls anymore. And they're pushing makeup for men, and they're pushing. Even the other day, I saw I don't know what they were selling, some beauty product, but it actually comes packed. The packaging is like for females, like completely 100% female. Until I realized that it was for men. I'm like, what? And now every movie, and I don't even watch movies, but my mom heard me complaining about this, and she told me, "Fuck, I cannot even watch any movie, no movie, Netflix movie, without having two guys kissing." And it's like, well, and you may say, "Is it bad?" Point is, no, it's not bad. I don't mind. I mean, the first time I never saw that, because when I was young, you never saw two men kissing anywhere. But I remember going to New Zealand and when I was 21, and I remember I was in a coffee shop after 2 or 3 days arriving there, and these two guys were French kissing, and I was like, well, that's beautiful. Yeah, I honestly thought, oh, that's beautiful, because I understood that love came in every shape, in every form, and it didn't matter as long as it's love. Who cares if it's? I don't care really. I swear, I've seen everything, and even that first time, I was not like, oh, disgusting. I was like, oh, that's a beautiful thing. Of course, no need, thank you. But no one is inviting me either. but I'm meaning it because a lot of people, no, rates are good as long as they don't bother me. It's like they don't bother anyone. As long as you don't want to be bothered, no one will bother you. Really, it's very, very strange. It would be very weird for anyone to approach you in a forceful way. No, I've never seen it. I never heard anyone having this problem. So I don't know, but. Yeah, the fact that the media is pushing it, all the movies, everything, and on TV, on everywhere, they're just pushing. It's like, the thing is the media, right? The people that choose what to show in the media, they have an agenda, and this agenda is not a good agenda. It doesn't have the best interests of anything other than some groups of power that can benefit from weakening society, family ties, normal conservative families. The structure that we have had for thousands of years is under a massive attack. So, yeah, and it starts again. You have so many mothers on the internet shaming their own kids because of them being men, or saying, "Oh, I love my 7 years old kid, but I'm disgusted to know that he's basically a rapist." I'm like, how can you say such a thing from your son, especially if he's never done anything crazy? How can you say that? So this just comes to prove how it's so false. It's such a lie. It's just not true. Everything that you see is not true about these matters, about everything. Just I really hope, buddy, that you're not watching TV like a average person, because otherwise you're going to be a brainwashed idiot. But I don't think so, because Daddy's going to be here all along, making sure that you don't fall asleep like the majority. So yeah, but this I learned all these things just from talking, from being with you, from talking to other men, from seeing how we become secondary, willingly secondary, to make sure that our women, our offspring are fine. So yeah, and last night, because you were so late, we were so late. You had a very late nap, and then you couldn't sleep at night. Like we were like 3 hours or 2 hours something. Mommy was not feeling well. She was too sleepy, and you couldn't fall asleep. So I just took you out, and we were in the living room, and then I saw the oh no! And then it's so cute because I was sitting on the sofa and you brought a book, a very very big book, and just sat on my lap. The way you sat in the lap is like it's like if I were the most trustworthy, comfortable, delicious sofa or chair ever. You just lie. You just and you mold yourself so beautifully to me, right? And I can feel your body and man, it's just beautiful. And then you just open a book and you were just showing me whatever. I mean, there's million different things, but you only go back to certain things you find interesting at any given moment. So yesterday, for the first time, you saw some. You love cars, as I have said a million times, and 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 you found a caravan or some truck or something with a tiny mouse drawn inside, right? And you went for the first time you saw the mouse, and I was like mouse, and then I do like and you were laughing and laughing and laughing, and I did it, I don't know, 50 times, and you just laugh. But this time it's different because you don't just laugh overall, but you laugh like there's a reciprocity and there's a correspondence. There's like a cause effect kind of thing. Before you just laughed because you laughed, but now it's like you understand the joke. You actually understand what's funny, and you react to it like a dialogue kind of thing. So now you're very different in that sense. And then you took one book that shows like it's like a London book, right? And you can I don't know, you can wipe to the right and to the left, and different things happen and move inside a book, right? So we were doing it, and just probably 100 times each, easily. So we were like at 1 hour, just like right, left, right, left, right, left, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. But man, I cannot enjoy it anymore. Again, you're just so comfy and so loving, and suddenly you were just tired. You close the book, and then you told me like go in. Went in 10 3 4 minutes later you were totally asleep. And yeah, and it's funny because before I don't know at what point, yes, last night I said, mommy, she said, oh, daddy's going to sleep, mom is going to sleep, and I kept going, you are going to sleep, and mommy said, mosquito is going to, and at that moment I interrupted, said, eat. And when you heard mosquito is going to eat, you started laughing and laughing and laughing. I was like, did he understand? I think you did, but you really laughed like a consequence of the joke, and the way you laugh is because you laugh out loud. Man, it's like a waterfall of happiness. It's like listening to God. Yeah, it's like medicine for my heart and my soul. Just like that. Anyway, so this morning we went for a coffee to Emporium, no, Quartier, and we rode a motorbike. Usually, first time you cried, second time you like you were about to cry, but you endured. Next time you were kind of okay, like you were fine, like you were even smiling a little bit, but always like completely stuck to me, like hanging me and just hanging me, and so you're looking back or looking at my shoulders, right? But today you actually sat in a way that you could see forward, and you were laughing. You were so happy. And it was just like, I don't know, 200-300 meters at most. But you enjoyed it so much. You were like, and then, like, oh, you just, oh my God, that's just beautiful. And then we went to Starbucks, right? And one kid, tiny, I mean, some of these, not Thai babies, not especially cute because they're very introverted, no personality. It's just very washed out kind of kids, just like population overall. This was, I don't know, probably either a Chinese or a Korean kid. Difficult to see because the parents looked either way, Chinese or Korean. Probably Chinese because Koreans have a little bit different faces. But it was a bit dicey to know this time. And normally Chinese and Koreans don't look similar, but the guy looked especially was a bit like Korean, Chinese, I don't know. But anyway, the kid was super cute, and you guys passed each other, like close to each other, and the Asian kid was like waving at you, and you were like, because he was at least a year older than you, but tiny because he was shorter than you, and you looked at him like first time that another kid waves at you in such a way, and you, I was like, it's the first time that you actually interact out of, like you two, just like sometimes once we were in a coffee and 3 Japanese girls just liked you, but they were like 7, 5, and 3 or 4, and they came, I mean, if you were 18 and they were 25, 22 and 17, and they were like so loving and kissing you, I know you would be like a really, really, really happy teenager. Well, of course you didn't understand much, but that time it was so cute. And then these 3 girls kept seeing you every now and then and just wave you and remembered your name and everything. It was really impressive. Super cute girls. But yeah, this is the first time that 2 of your kind of your age, just happened to see and like each other and wave at each other. It was really cute. Then we came back. I had to leave, and I came back, and it was so, oh man, you made me a very proud dad today. First we were playing, then we started like putting I started putting all your toys in the different boxes they go. You have so many, it's just ridiculous. And I was putting all the cars where the cars go on the box of the cars. I was putting all the other, like a miscellaneous toys in a different, very, very, very big box. So as I was putting all the toys inside that box, you were just taking them out and just throwing them out, throwing them. But the beautiful thing is that I'm your dad, so I'm there to play, pretty much. All your mom wants from me is that I play with you, so she can do stuff. She can do everything else that she has to do, right? But because when I'm not here, she cannot do much because you require her attention and you get very like But when I'm here, you are like super cool and we just play, right? So and I say I'm your dad and I just play because you're throwing all the toys out, I'm putting them in. And you are throwing them out and I keep putting them in, and it goes like half an hour. But of course, if it was your mom, she would be upset, and with good reason, right? Because she's trying to put everything in place while you are actually putting everything outside and making a mess again. So because I don't have that boundary, I don't have that, I have to do this so I can start doing that because I have 20 things that are waiting for me, then I can just give you all the time. So we did, and then we went to all the balls you have, like to put them in the right place. And of course you put them out, like you threw them everywhere, and you just like that. So I was just putting them in. At the end, everything was outside, and you helped me. You actually told your buddy, put all your cards in here, and you did. And you did, just one by one, without suffering it, without any special thing. Tuck, 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 tuck. Like, took you like 10 minutes, and then, okay, all the balls. And then you went for it and picked all the balls. You make it, you were like, so cute. You know, like, I like the way that when you find something interesting, you are like, you don't do like, hey, look at that. No, you are like, it's cute. And today you were a lot like, sometimes, every time I see that, every time you get to the next level of, you know, like awareness, intelligence, understanding, you kind of like have like your hands are like asking questions, like you have 100 questions and you are like, you don't realize it. It's just automatic, but it's very cute. But anyway, the amazing thing is that I was giving you food. I was feeding you. Though it was the dry meat that you love so much, right? Then mommy started cooking some beef, tenderloin, really, really good tenderloin from Argentina. We are having these weeks. And when you smelled and heard mommy cooking, you were like so happy, but like what the hell? Because that's not the kind of food you like. You don't like tenderloin. You don't like any. You like different things, more of minced meat or your dried beef. Right? Those two are your favorites by far. So you never eat the ones that mommy was cooking. But you were like, and I told you, do you want meat? And you started dancing, like, and just your little feet, like you were so happy. I'm like, okay. So mommy gave me like 2 pieces this big, and you started eating a lot, like really fast. I have to help you, like I just and just give it. Now again, you didn't accept food from my mouth for like a month and a half or 2 months, but now that you declared your individuality, now you're cool. So I help you, because sometimes if it's too big, you chew too much, and if you feel it's too big, the piece is too big, you just drop it. So I was just and just giving it to you. So, and you ate the whole thing, 2 of them, after you have already eaten your dried meat. And then I told mommy, okay, I'm going to eat 2 because I hadn't eaten, and these days I'm not eating much. So she gave me a piece, around 60 grams of beef, 60 to 80 grams of meat. And I ate some, but you wanted more. And, but unfortunately, it was one part that had a lot of the gristle of the meat, so it was very difficult even for me to eat. I was like, it's just hard. The rest because we get huge pieces, right? The rest was amazingly soft, but this was extremely. It was really not the nicest, just because of the gristle. The flavor good, but it's just so hard, right? Like so jerky. It was tough. And because it was thicker and had all this fatty and all this connecting tissue, it didn't cook much. It was like 90% raw. So, but I put it in my mouth, and just, I don't know, just out of nowhere, I just stuck to, I don't know, because you wanted to bite the other extreme, the other side of the piece of meat, and I just did this, and we both are like, right? and I got a chunk and you got a little chunk, right? And you got so excited. I don't know. I've never seen you eating like that. But honestly, it's like a dog or like an animal that suddenly is like eating, you know, like it gets like really like in the savage mode, like it's like really like, and you started like, and you almost fall down many times because you're like. And because it's so jerky, it's so full of gristle that it's not tender at all, and you just right. And I was going to leave most of it, Yes, so it was so bad that I thought, okay, I'm just going to not eat it. But you were so happy eating it that I just kept giving it to you, and I really had to make an effort because it was so tough that I couldn't do it for you. So I put one side of the meat right on in my mouth, like with my teeth, holding it with my teeth, and you were just like, wow, that's it. But it really it was so primal. It was so like kind of thing, you know. I've never seen you like that, and you were so happy. You were so excited about it. It was really incredible to see you like that, and mommy was like, what? I mean, what is going on with this kid? It was really interesting, really, really, really interesting, and yeah, and that's it. I'm looking at the camera at the laptop because I didn't format the card of the memory card of the camera, and it just ended, and it just shut itself as if there was no memory, even there was still. It's a problem with cameras. I don't know why. Even if you delete the file, if you don't format the card, this happens. But anyway, so I was just so proud of seeing you, so primal, so like somehow animalistic, right? And so pumped. You were pumped, and the meat really was 90% raw, pretty much 100% raw. That the part you ate, and you ate like 50 grams more of that meat, which was honestly was quite nasty, but you enjoyed it so much that why not? If you want, go for it. And yeah, so it was nice. Then we finally took you to bed. I put your nappy, I put your pajamas and everything, and we went to bed. And you were really tranquil, really quiet, really very, 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 very peaceful. No playing, no, nothing crazy. But you know, when we have such good times together, when we enjoy time together like this, I personally, I'm totally in love with you. That's it, and you are too. So when those things, when we have this kind of times that we are so together, so like this together, you are about to sleep and you roll and you look at me, and you just look at me and you smile, like I can see you just love me and you just don't want to fall asleep because the connection is just so strong. And you did it many times. I thought you were going to sleep very soon, and I thought you had already fallen asleep, and you again, right, and again and again. And you found some tiny sticker and you were putting it in my head. And when I thought it was lost, like you had somewhere in bed, right, like had fallen, you actually put it on me, and then asked me to put it on your forehead. And last time, it was obvious that you were like about to sleep, and you just roll and just look at me. And I started kissing your forehead, but many times, like tiny kisses, tiny kisses, tiny kisses, tiny kisses. And then I just kept giving you kisses all around. Then I kept giving kisses on your nose. Normally, you are too active to enjoy that kind of thing. You're not that kind of kid. But you were in such a beautiful, tender, receptive moment. And then I started like doing like this nose to nose, right? And you start laughing out loud many times. And that's it. And then you just rolled once again to be close to mommy, and you fell asleep. So that was the end of the day between, with you. And now I came here just to do the video, and hopefully we're going to buy now, or we're going to finally see what are the flights we're going to take to Mexico. And that's it. And it's a long video, but this time I just talked about so many cool things, and so many happenings, and not just like ranting about single subject. So that's it, buddy. That's Daddy profoundly in love with you. I've said it a million times. I love you, and you're the best ever. The best thing that ever happened to me. I can't thank God enough to have you in my life. I love you with all my heart, and keep having an amazing life and keep being wonderful. And see you next time. I love you very much, and I send you a big kiss. Love you. Love you.